This is the American Rebellion. My name is Jerry. How y'all doing? Uh, we're here tonight, Matty K and Nick Young from Louisiana on his last night on Earth. By tomorrow this time, he should be the mayor of Oz. We got Larry Burns and Jimmy Collins in the comments so far, plus three other unknowns. Oh, look, we're at 5. Hey, there you go. All right, Matt, how you doing?
Well, he's the mayor of Oz. I guess me and you represent the lollipop kids.
Well, you do. Larry Burns, how you doing, Jerry? We're doing great. My mouth is better. Let's see. Nick's in the comments. Nick, how are you? Is there a going away party? Anything like that?
So far, so good.
All right.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Not gonna break the love tie with no trail out. Mary Poppins or something.
Well, you'll need a big funny hat, a dress, and an umbrella. So you should hunt those things up now so you're prepared.
Probably be pretty easy to get a kite up.
Put a key on it, see if it works. Yeah. You know, you got some trash bags laying around, dowel rod, you'll be fine. Don't worry about nothing.
I'm more worried about the tornado warning we have to fight about now. That's the only thing
Tornadoes, schmornadoes.
Hurricane.
Tornadoes, schmornadoes. Try to be tough, Nick. You're from Louisiana.
Yeah. I'm being tough so far.
Well, nothing's happened, so I don't know. We'll see. So, by the way, not
so I have a UFO anecdote I could tell you, but never mind.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Not this weekend, but next weekend, I won't be here. So we won't be having no show unless Nick and Matt carry on, which we both know they're not going to. All three of us know that. So there'll be no show. Alan McMillan is here.
Hey, I might do it myself then. Me and Nick will do it.
There you go.
We'll do it live. God damn it. Hey, we can wing it.
That'll be great.
If I'm still here.
Well, Nick will be here in spirit because, Oz is a busy place. So let's see. We're up to 8. Okay. So anyway, I won't be here. So at least, maybe it'll go better, get more views. You never know.
Is that it? You ain't going to tell us no more details about where you're going or nothing?
I'm going to Alabama.
Going to the land of Oz?
I'm going to Alabama with a banjo on my fucking
That's
head.
what I figured.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. I'm going to see my father for the first time in about 19 years. So.
Oh, well, hooray. Congrats, man.
As I said, I think I told Pete, my mother died in 17.
Is he aware of this?
Yeah, he's aware of it, man. I'm not a stalker. Why no show? I have no life. What am I to do? Well, apparently Matt's going to take up the slack. I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll have to take a vote. Everybody do a little thumb up thing, and if we'll, press on without the skipper.
It can't be any worse. Look at it this way. And it may be actually better. I got to tell you that, all kidding aside, one of the best shows we ever had as far as views, Matt was in charge of. So, don't underestimate the Mattster.
It wasn't.
Hey, Tiffany.
I think it was just surely by circumstantial, some fucking way. I don't know.
You could live stream the visit, Jerry. 19 years, Alan. Do you think I want to do that to him? He's 85. I don't think he'd understand us.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't. I mean, yeah. I mean, even if you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's stupid in the first place, but you couldn't do it without him even knowing about it.
I mean, well, he's not feeble. Christ, he works 4 days a week putting decks on RVs, the floors. And he's 85. And the only reason he doesn't work a full 8-hour day is because it's too hot. Plus, you know, he's 85. He gets to do shit like that, I guess. So, you're a big Trump fan, he says, so there'll be no arguments there when I come out with my hat. Yeah, that's what I think you're right there, Max. So, you know, my dad has always been, when I was a kid, he worked. That's what he did. He at one time worked 3 jobs. But he worked.
Get a picture.
Oh, I'll take picture, but I ain't, you know, live streaming is, you know.
Sneak a picture.
You know, a live stream, I don't know. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm not even taking the wife with me because I have not been the best son in my adult life. I think I was a relatively normal kid with bad attitude at a certain age, but as an adult, I haven't been the best son, and I got a lot of things I got to try to make amends for, so I'm going to do that. And try not to get too much into the past because it's in the past, and there's no point in bringing all that crap up again, especially since the person I got the problem with is no longer here.
Yeah.
She died in 2017. And that was his wife, and I'm not going to speak bad of his wife. I don't care. I'm not speaking bad of his dead wife. That's not happening. So, because that's just, you know, and the other day, it no longer matters. I wish I'd have realized it a long time ago.
Yes, Jerry. The be pleasant and you know, wish each other well. There's no point hashing over all that crap you got.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
No, but I got some amends to make and shit. Mainly because I haven't spoken to him that long. But I think my regret now.
God works in mysterious ways.
My regret.
You never thought this would be coming to pass a month ago or so, did you?
No, not really. My regret is I don't have a lot of time left to be a good son, so I'm going to try to do the best I can. You got to just do the best you can and what you got. That's what I'm going to do now. Maybe next month I'll take the wife up there so she can meet him.
How about
I was in Foley, Alabama, which is towards the, I guess it's towards the bottom of Alabama. You got to go up top of Florida, then across the Panhandle, then up into Alabama. I suspect
it can't be that long. That's fucking far.
Well, you'd be surprised. It's probably 3 hours to get out of Florida. 3.5, maybe 4. Florida's a lot bigger than it looks.
Not from where you are. Shit, I've been in Florida.
No, I live in the middle of the state, approximately, a little bit higher. And it'd probably take 1.5 hours or so to get north.
Oh, yeah, it takes like 18 hours to get from where I live. central Louisiana to Florida.
Yeah.
With an interstate that goes all the way there.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
well, I forgot you guys are riding fucking donkeys or something. But what the fuck?
Yeah.
I
A cart with a jackass with a carrot on the front of it.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're in a wagon train, really, Matt. You know, there are about 30 of us. We circle up every night so the Indians don't kill us. No, it's from the bottom of Florida, like down at the end of 95 to the top of Florida, is an 8-hour trip, man. And that's all 95, which is the major thoroughfare up to
You ain't
East
even
Coast.
close to the bottom.
I understand that, but if it's 8 hours from the bottom, it's going to be at least 3. It used to take us from Fort Lauderdale approximately to around Gainesville when we drove up this way, 4 hours. Okay? 4 hours. It's a lot bigger than it looks on the map.
The fuck, you doing 25 mile an hour or something?
No, plus going to Alabama you could, but you got to drive an hour just to get to 75. And then you got to go way west. In 95, there's no point because that runs up the East Coast all the way up to, I think, Maine now. So.
Christ, I can get to San Francisco in about fucking 6 hours from here, and it's like fucking 500 miles.
Well, let's see. Mobile, a good 4 hours from here. Long part is traveling down to Orlando. Orlando from my house, or at least outside of Orlando, where my daughter used to live, was a 2-hour ride. South. And, you know, you got to take, like, we have a highway running through the middle of Chiefland.
The geographicologies.
We have a highway running through Chiefland. It's Highway 19. It's a state highway, but and there's a lot of part of it where you can do 65, 70 miles an hour, but through the middle of town, you're going to run 40. And there's a lot of towns that I've never heard of. I got towns around here I never heard of until I moved here. Yeah, Alan, he is in Louisiana, Eunice. So anyway, that's going to be my deal there. Yeah. I haven't never left the house for more than a couple hours in 10 years. So
right up the poop of Florida, where I'm at, Alan.
Hey, Nick, shut the fuck up over there.
Hey.
I believe that may have been payback, so I don't know.
Yeah, elephant never forgets.
I'm looking forward to the trip, but you know, I ain't left my house since being married to my wife. Wherever we've lived in 2 different places for more than a few hours at a time. I don't take vacations ever. I don't go anywhere. I don't care to go anywhere. So this is new to me. So apparently Foley, Alabama is big for NFL players. Kenny Stabler's from there, and a couple other guys that aren't as old as he was. But Jerry, just be safe on your trip. I'll be keeping you in my prayers.
Yeah.
I can drive. It's all right. I'm not that old. My daughter apparently thinks I'm a feeble old man and I need somebody to ride with me.
This could be a fucking growth experience for you.
A growth experience. Yeah, I need one of them.
Or a growth experience. Vehicle. Oh, well, I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Nick. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, man?
They're gonna put the video.
Oh shit! let's not get Yolanda on the trip to
Yeah.
analyze it.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Actually, she hauled ass to Dallas.
Yeah, see, she didn't break down. I won't either. Thanks a lot, Nick. Now you got the fucking karma monkey on my fucking back. And they won't be on the way there. It'll be on the way back is what'll happen now. And I'll be cursing you, Nick, and hoping you just got flew right away in a hurricane. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I'll bet you'll send me a video of that.
Oh, yeah. I like that video you sent me, by the way, with the black lady and the money. That's funny.
That's funny.
Has your daughter had a relationship with your dad, Jerry? No, my daughter's never met him.
I watched that, yeah.
My daughter's never met my father. I haven't seen him. How the hell would she have seen him? She probably wants to. My dad would probably like her a lot. She's, yeah, I think he'd like her a lot. I don't know how that would work, if she could leave or what.
You know, that is one of my regrets. That both of my parents are deceased, and my kids never got to meet them, really. Or, no, never. I mean,
yeah.
My dad died in 2000. I mean, no.
Well, I got to meet my dad's parents, and I've seen my dad's mother, well, quite a few times. She couldn't read or write or anything. She'd go to the grocery store and she'd buy stuff by the pictures because, back in the day when they were born in the 1800s. A lot of times the poor didn't get the schooling they needed. My grandfather, I remember seeing one time, and I think that after 11 children, or 12, I think it was, 12 children, he'd had enough for kids. I'm pretty sure of that. He didn't say much, I remember. And you couldn't really be loud and noisy and all that. It was, it wasn't like my other grandfather who we saw all the time, my mom's dad. So, but yeah. Yep. They're all gone now, though.
That's valuable too.
It is.
I
regret not.
Shit, I spent a lot of time with my grandfather. Fuck, he lived with us after a while.
Yeah.
We got, wouldn't let him drive anymore and shit.
Yeah, I lived with my grandparents, my mom's parents, for years and years. My grandfather had prostate cancer for like 13 years. He lived eventually for 13 years. And then she passed away, and a couple years later, my grandmother, she was fine one day. 2 days later, has a heart attack.
Yeah.
Watched them both die.
Yeah.
The hardest thing you can see in your life.
I think so. I regret not getting to know my one grandfather as well as I could when I had the chance, because I was old enough to talk to him like a regular person. My mother's father. He lived through a lot of history, a lot of different things. He had polio. He got it before they had the cure and all. Walked with a brace his whole life. He was a concert violinist. All kinds of shit. And a tough old man, I tell you.
Oh yeah, my mom's father had an 8th grade education.
Yeah.
And became a millionaire.
Yeah.
Through the oil field and what he did.
Your mother's father?
Yeah.
Why are you living in a fucking trailer?
Because this man died poor as a church mouse. I ain't in the trailer. I'm in the fucking slab home too. But my grandfather died poor as a church mouse because the government fucked him.
According to my grandma, they didn't have time for school. They were working the cotton fields around Columbia, Louisiana. They had to learn to read and they did learn to read and write, though. Yeah. A lot of them people back in the day, that's exactly. They had my grandfather. I know he had to quit school to go to work. When he was like 11 or 12 or something, to help support his family, so forth, stuff going on.
Yeah, my wife's grandfather, she made an autobiographical book about him. He had a very adventurous life, to say the least. Strange. He was born in Hamburg, Germany, in the early 1900s. A condensed version. He joined a steamliner merchant marine when he was like 15 to leave Germany because they were in they had the Great Depression shit there too as well. And made his way to America. Lived in Cleveland. Did safaris in Africa and fucking Australia in the like 1920s. And had a lot of fucking bizarre shit, pictures and everything. It's crazy.
Cool. I don't really know much about my family history. I know I had a war hero uncle. I had 3 uncles in World War II. They all survived. I know I joined one of the reasons I joined the Marine Corps is my uncle. He was a war hero. They were all crazy though. My father had 12 brothers and sisters, and they were all nuts. And he would tell stories about how 4 or 5 of them sleep in one bed and all that kind of thing. Alan, here there were 13 people in their family living in a 4-bedroom house on a 40-acre farm. Yep. They're hard times. We actually should think about that every once in a while because we don't have it as hard. Because I've never picked cotton in my life, but it don't look easy. It don't. And farmers back then they normally made enough to survive. They were taken advantage of by the all the buyers of their crops and all the rest of it. Yeah, my dad said his house when he's growing up, one of them had leaky roof, no electricity. I don't remember about the running water or nothing. My mom's grandmother quit school after one day, couldn't speak a word of English. Funny, my brother and I could converse with her way back then. Yeah. Well, I think, Nick, when you live with somebody.
That was crazy.
Yeah, but when you live with somebody, like when I was growing up, my brother stuttered bad and nobody could understand what the fuck he was saying. But I hung around with him every single day and I understood every word. So I think when you live with somebody and you're used to it, it's easier or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's some.
She spoke
Cajun French. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So how me and my brother could understand a damn thing he said and how she understood us, all we spoke was English, is beyond me. But we loved to go to her house, but it was fun to be with.
Yeah, well, my one grandmother, my mother's mother, she was the grandmother. I mean, there was always like cookies, that kind of shit. Grandpa always had a quarter in his pocket for us when he came to see us and that kind of every time we came, give us a quarter. Back then, that's a lot of money for a kid. My first allowance was a quarter when I was little. That's a job I learned to never tell my grandpa. It sounds fun and easy. He showed me how it was. What's that, picking cotton?
My grandfather put my ass to work at 6 years old.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Didn't matter what it was.
My father was actually the only reason he's still alive. He was the youngest, and he's 85 now. he was the youngest of all of them. And by the time, they got to him, he had it easier than his brothers. But he told me one time he mouthed off to his father about something, and he knew his father was pissed, so he started running. His father picked up a stick or something, threw it between his legs, tripped him up, caught up to him, snatched him up, and beat him anyway. Shit. Back in the day, they didn't care about that child family services bullshit.
Oh, no. It's like my dad's father. He died way back in 1987, the year I graduated, just before I graduated. Got a lung cancer. And that man was a tough man. He didn't give two shit. I seen him knock my dad's sister out cold.
Damn.
Punched her. Knocked her ass out though. Because
In my back.
she was a
Yes.
kid and she showed up all fucked up. Some dude my grandpa didn't like. And when she walked in the door, she flew right back out the door. So he was a tough dude. He was a boxer, actually, way back in the day.
Yeah.
But he's a tough man. He told my dad, son, you can fit my shoes, you can call yourself a man. Now, my grandfather was like 5'10", wore like a size 10 shoe. My dad was 12 years old, like a size 12. He said, yeah, I guess I'm a man now. He said, but you never better fuck across it, son.
Yeah. My dad
He
used
was
to tell,
tough.
when I was little, my dad used to, because he'd say, anytime you want to try me, you're welcome. I never did. Even when I got older, I never did. He's just, they grew up in a different time, man, where everyone grew up tough. Okay. Mentally and physically. It was like, not like today where these kids are just, crying about every damn thing. Everybody's feelings are hurt. I'm pretty sure they didn't have feelings back then.
Well, it's because it was fucking more dog eat dog. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Plus, everybody was struggling, back like our grandparents did. They went through the Great Depression. They went through a lot of different shit. The Dust Bowl out there and, Midwest and everything. And it wasn't easy. There was nothing easy about life. A lot of them were sharecroppers, even white people. The original sharecroppers were white people. And they'd farm land for someone else. And they had to pay up a certain amount when the crop came in. And they made money, but then they had to go down to the store and pay off all their credit for the year and buy all new shit for the following year. And there wasn't much left. You might get one pair of shoes a year.
The company store.
Mm-hmm.
They put the money in one pocket and take out of the other pocket.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You might get, like, girl might get one new dress and one pair of shoes a year. Boy might get, new set of clothes and pair of shoes. And that's why so many people back then, you see pictures, they weren't wearing shoes because you couldn't wear out shoes. And when you was growing up, a lot of times the cobbler would actually come to your house or whatever and make the shoes for the family. My father wore hand-me-downs from his sisters, which if that don't make you tough, I don't know what does. So,
Shit, that's what I did all my life from my older brother. And my
yeah,
mom and dad broke his church money.
yeah,
Didn't have shit. Yeah.
yeah. They had a big sister.
That's because they had the gambling problem.
Not back then, there was no casino.
Yeah. Let's see. Alan says they had a big cistern. That was their water. They had a pail and a ladle and dipper in the kitchen, and that's what we drank from. One outhouse, and yes, always had a Sears and Roebuck kettle. Oh yeah, my dad told me about that. They still had outhouses when he was growing up. Back in the day, if you wasn't rich, you didn't have indoor plumbing. Did y'all have a mom or dad that could make you stop whatever you were doing and just freeze with the look? Oh, yeah, my father had one. And that was exactly the line. If you did one more thing, you went over the line and normally went flying for a fine trip through the air. It's wonderful. Yep.
Oh, I think both mommy and daddy had that look back in those days.
My mom, I ain't gonna say nothing, but my father, when he was pissed enough, he had that look. And the thing was, because kids are stupid. All kids are stupid. He would warn you, and you never put two and two together. I mean, he'd warn you a couple of times, and then when the look came, once you knew what the look was, then it was like you kind of made you feel like you were shrinking. Yeah. Let's see. Tina Scott's here. Destiny Paris is here. Destiny says, yeah, Jimmy, I perfected that look for my children. Yeah.
All right now, ladies, let's not fight over me again.
Think of it this way. These kids growing up today, the ones you see in the street, and everything's racist. Could you imagine them having to grow up with our parents or grandparents? Because even the liberals back in the day didn't play shit with children. You were seen and not heard in most cases. And my parents made it easier for me. I just had to call everybody.
No, it's
Mr.
like my grandfather's
Mrs.
house. I used to have to go over there after school to wait to get picked up for a walk on. But all you heard in his house was the grandfather clock ticking.
Yeah.
It wouldn't turn the TV on.
Yeah.
All he did was read the fucking newspaper. That's all you heard was him turn the fucking pages.
That's like my grandfather.
You read. You sit there and read.
Yeah.
That's all you could do.
Yeah.
Just read something or just sit there and stare.
My mother's father, every day. He would have been a degenerate gambler if my grandmother let him, but he would. Every day he would I don't know if they still do it. I ain't got a newspaper in years, but they used to have the race results from all over the country. And that's what he would do. And you won't get too loud in the morning. I just can't imagine some of these kids today growing up with our parents or especially our grandparents. I don't think they freaking survive. I don't. There's too many of them out there that weren't raised right now. And you see now every day in the streets and, all the rest of it. I mean, if I ever talk to any adult the way these kids talk to adults today, I mean, a kid called me dog about 6 months ago. I looked at him like, call me that again. See what happens, bitch. I don't care who's.
You think these are a problem now? You wouldn't have.
No. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you got a beating back in the day, you got a grown up beating. There wasn't none of this timeout bullshit. I mean, I have been beaten so bad in my life that I was black and blue at 6 years old. All over. Okay.
Oh no. They were the ones that had to take time out to stop beating.
Yeah, because they got tired.
Because they got tired.
Yeah. And we laugh about it now. It really sucked back then. But see, you look at.
You're standing there shaking, saying, "Oh fuck, I hope they're really worn out, and it'll come back."
A lot of times you'd have like the father in the house. Like in my house, the father was he was like your best friend, and my mother did all the discipline. But I think what it got to was every now and again, the mother's bitching and moaning just pissed him off where he had to do something, and he would goddamn do it. I mean, it's like Nick just said, somebody knocked out their daughter. You got a grown-up beating back in the day. They didn't play around. They beat you with a stick or, a fucking ladle or whatever the hell they grab hold of. They'd knock shit out of you. I never in my lifetime have
Well, make
forgot.
you go get the stick pecan.
Yeah, a lot of people. God, a lot of people. Yeah. I've never in my lifetime forgot the sound, what that sound of that belt coming out of them belt loops at a high rate of speed that was about to meet my ass. Never forgot what that sounds like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mom always used Dad's belt. You know, Dad's a big motherfucker. You know, he's like 6'3". So he had a big belt, white belt. So that shit hurt.
And that whole your mother saying shit to you like wait till your father gets home and go sit in your room until he does.
Yeah.
That was like waiting on a death sentence to be carried out because you knew what was going to happen. And if the earlier in the day it is, the worse it was because you had more time to think about it. And you'd hear him come in and you'd hear him talking in the kitchen. And then you'd hear the footsteps coming up the stairs, and you knew that life was about to be really fucked up for quite some time in the near future. Yep. Hot wheel tracks. Damn, Tina, they used your own toys to beat you?
To beat the fuck up.
Tina Scott said Hot Wheel tracks. Her parents used their own toys against her. I don't remember that. Damn. I bet you hated Hot Wheels after that.
Whatever's that hand. Damn, that's got a stain. Shit.
Mine too. I had a lot.
I don't know. The dad usually just used his hands, and mom would use like anything utensil.
And when you think about it, back in the day,
whatever.
You look at it logically as an adult back in the day, you pretty much deserved it. It wasn't like, you did something stupid in my house where they didn't tell you, don't do that again 17 fucking times before, you needed some extra schooling or something. Tiffany says, mine too, I had a lot. Rather had mom take care of the whipping me, and daddy, he didn't know what the word stop was. Yeah, but Tiffany, I want to ask you something because you're younger than most of the rest of us, that's for sure. But do you feel like that kind of shit prepared you for the hard, real world a little bit better as far as mental toughness and so on and so forth? I don't know. I know it did for me. I mean, I had a lot of bad times in my life, mostly self-induced. And I got through them just from being, not giving up. I never gave up. I mean, we all tried when we were young to not cry when dad or mom beat the hell out of us. Did anyone ever find that was a good idea? Because I never did. It is a lot different because you got to remember how they were raised. And all of a sudden, like around the 60s.
Well, no, you get the whole, you're not allowed to do that. Kids can call the cops on you or whatever.
Back in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, everybody started writing books on how to raise children correctly. With the no beatings and the no this and the no that. And you got to explain things to them. And you got to reason. You can't reason with an 8-year-old. If an 8-year-old wants to jump off a big rock into another big rock on his head because he thinks he can do it, or climb a tree that's 40 foot tall and then jump out of it, or jump off the fucking garage roof or some stupid, he's going to do it. And reasoning with him ain't a good idea. Because his reason is, oh, you just don't want me to do nothing and I'm going to do it anyway. Jimmy Collins says, I deserve the ass beatings. Tiffany says, it really did, Jerry. It does. Obviously they suck going through it. And there is a line that obviously parents cross in a lot of different things. Beatings is just one of them. But in the end, I can tell you this, I would not have made it to 57 years old without a whole bunch of shit that happened in my childhood, good and bad. Tell you that right now.
Though there's another thing to consider
Feet
too.
of ice.
I knew in my lifetime I never asked my father for a fucking dime because I knew he would have said, "Fuck you, no."
Yeah. Let's see. Tiffany said I did a couple of them. The most of the time it was my brother doing shit and blaming me for it. Well, I grew up in a house where my brother was the favorite son. I was always in trouble. I was never good at school. He was. All that. Everything I wasn't, he was. And they swore up and down they loved us equally, but I got to tell you, they had a hard time showing it. But when you have one child that's easier to raise and another child that ain't, I mean, you got to look at shit logically as you get older. I mean, I knew this years ago. I was a pain ass. I had bad attitude. I never spoke to nobody. My father told me one day, it's like you got a black cloud hanging around you everywhere you go. It's like, and it was true. I was one of those disgruntled youths. I don't even know why. I just was, you know. And it wasn't like I was deprived of anything, ever. You know, my brother turned out to be. They found out when I left. Let's put it that way. I've been trying to find him too, and it's not easy because he seems to be off the grid. I know he's been arrested 4 or 5 times for what they call camping.
Maybe your dad will have some intel
Nope.
on him.
He ain't heard from him in 10 years. At the last time, as a matter of fact, my father heard from him. My brother said he had a girlfriend he was living with, and apparently she had a husband that got out of prison, and they chased him out of Las Vegas all the way to Florida trying to kill him. He's been stabbed. He's been arrested 4 times for camping, which means he was homeless. And I tried the number that I looked up and I paid for. Listen, if y'all going to look up people and pay for it online, I'm here to tell you a lot of this stuff is bullshit. I called the phone number and it wasn't him that they had for him. Plus, no, I don't know if what the deal is. I told my father I'd do what I could to find him and see, make sure he's okay and everything. But his name is Shawn Michaels. Looking him up is not easy because of the damn wrestler. So,
Yeah, see what you're saying there.
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
yeah.
Where was county or city jail? See if they can tell you anything.
Yeah, I don't know. His last known that online is Orlando in 3 or 4 different places. He's lived all over. My brother wanted to be a professional gambler since the time he was a kid, and at 16 years old, crawled out the window with his luggage one night, somehow got on a fucking airplane, flew to Las Vegas, lost all his money, got arrested, wouldn't tell him who he was. My parents had to send a damn private detective to get him and bring him back. So, Tiffany, oh, that was your cousin who you put, you did something bad too because they put your Jeep on blocks. Okay. You don't fuck with Tiffany. It's not good. Not trying to pry, but maybe your brother needs you to whoop his ass. I don't know. I don't know who he's talking to. I think Tiffany. Yeah. I'm getting too old for all this shit, to be honest. I don't know. You look at life, I could have done a lot of things different, just like everybody else. Make things simpler. And there ain't a person on the planet that I believe could tell you any different. But here you are. So you do the best you can, what you got, and you try to. I mean, I just try to be as decent as I can. That's all. It ain't easy because I'm not very good at it, to be honest, as far as being nice to others. But you know. Looks like your brother is as good a gambler as my parents. My brother is probably the only person I know who worked in the only place in Las Vegas that didn't have gambling because he got blackballed from the strip for doing something. He never actually told me. My guess it was probably cheating because they don't like that shit in Vegas.
They don't like that in any casino.
That's true. That's very true.
So it reminds me of my buddy Dave. His brother lived in Vegas, Willie, and he had a gambling problem, and he wasn't good at it either. He got way in over his head in debt. Called his little brother to come bail him out. So Dave let him come back to California. They've been living together, and he's paying off all his fucking creditors and shit. You get, you got any kind of that kind of addictive gambling shit, you're a fucking shit creek in Vegas. There ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, yeah. They will take your life. Believe me.
Yeah.
If you can't pay, you're going to pay.
Oh, yeah.
Believe me.
And it's worse than when they used to send Bruno and Bubba out to break your legs because they will fuck your life. They will take everything. They'll take your fucking house, your car, your dog, whatever. They'll take everything.
Yeah, the first time my mom and dad went to Vegas, they went with my mom's parents. They made a big car trip around the United States. They went to Vegas, and they're eating in a restaurant somewhere. And my dad, being a big guy, he said some big dude dressed up, fit to kill in a suit, come to just sit down at the table that my mom and dad were eating at, and said, "You look like a guy that we could use because of the size."
Yeah.
My dad had got the cue right away. He's like, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have to double somebody in the desert the next day.
Yeah.
That's what it was all about.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a gambler neither. And like Jimmy said, I could find better. I found other things to piss my money away on, which was drinking and so forth. And that's if you live in Vegas and you drink too much, it's not a good place for you neither. First night I was in Vegas, I went to a bar. It was dark, like 10 o'clock at night or something. When I left, it's 6:30 in the morning, and I almost got blinded when I opened the door from the sunlight. I knew I wasn't going to do well there. Daniel says they'll find 170-mile-an-hour winds and Hurricane Laura will be Category 5 at landfall. They say that the storm surge is going to be deadly. How far from the Gulf do you live, Nick?
Like 20 feet and shit.
You live in central Louisiana, right?
Yeah. Danville, just, maybe a mile away. We're in central Louisiana. He's in Houston.
Okay. And Jasmine lives by you somewhere, right? So is her husband on the rig? Is her husband on the rig?
He was stuck. He's stuck in West Texas. He couldn't come back.
So, in other words, he's not on the rig, though.
At
Oh, I thought the rig was out in the ocean. For some reason, I thought the rig was one of them out in the ocean. Shit. All right. Well, how do them things withstand hurricanes? Jolene is here. How you doing, Virginia? Anita's here. I've meant to mention. Larry Burns is here. I didn't even see Larry come in. Holy shit. How you doing, Larry?
I was here for a while.
Oh, well, sorry, Larry. Jimmy wants to know if you're close to the state capitol, Nick.
Close enough.
Close enough.
I am. Yeah, I'm about an hour and a half away from the state capitol.
Well, look at it. Maybe it'll get washed
west.
away. Maybe it'll get washed away.
I wish it would have walked away the goddamn government.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Piece of shit.
That's what I mean.
Or it's the governor's mansion.
See,
Maybe not the capital.
yeah, and here's
but the place we live.
here's another problem. You got all the ridiculous COVID bullshit going on with the fucking shutdowns and this and that and the other. People are going out of business or, whatever. And now you got a major fucking hurricane coming. It's going to decimate certain areas of your state and Texas and all that. So, it's going to go from bad to worse in some places.
Which said they're going to convert to a decimal system.
Okay. What?
Okay. Decimals. Yeah, good luck with that.
The fuck? What, you been asleep? How many warrants statewide does it take before the law decides to be considered as a felony? Does anyone know? How many warrants statewide does it take before the law? I don't understand that question. You sure you wrote that correctly?
Depends on front. You could take one.
Oh, federal becomes considered a federal crime. Oh, I think.
So any federal warrant is a fucking felony.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking point of it.
Yeah, and I think also it has to
Federal thing.
it has to do with okay. For instance, Trump says he's sending National Guard troops through the state of Wisconsin into Kenosha. Anybody they arrest will be arrested for felonies, regardless. Yeah, because I think Matt's right. I don't think the government,
Right?
the federal government don't really have misdemeanors too much. They can't be bothered with them. Jimmy Collins says, Matt says some of the most random shit. Yeah, he does. I think he's sleeping. I don't know. I think.
But it's fucking Zen.
Plus, I think it's Zen. Okay. Now we're Zen? All right. Okay. I think also it has to do with whether the federal government wants to get involved, because sometimes they'll just take over cases. But I don't know if the amount of warrants in statewide does anything to, unless the feds decide to take over whatever case you may be thinking about. I don't know. I ain't no lawyer, in case you ain't noticed. I'd be a good one, though. I could argue with everybody.
You know, it's funny. That's the first thing I wanted to be when I was a kid, was a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? You're not even Jewish.
No,
Holy
not hardly.
shit.
But I'm good at it. So, I can argue with a stone.
Yeah. I argue with myself all the time. I'm good at it. I always win. The reason for my question, my brother-in-law's niece has 40 warrants statewide to clean up in Ohio.
Your niece is pretty much El Fucko'd.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Or
they
his
didn't
niece.
find her yet?
Well, maybe she's not living there.
Or local?
40 warrants?
Somebody's not doing that job.
How in the hell does anyone get 40 damn warrants in one state?
She wrote like 40 bad checks,
Yeah, it must have been.
something like that.
Yeah, I guess that's possible, but I bet it's more than that. Damn, 40 warrants. That seems a lot.
That's got to be a record.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a record, but even if it ain't,
That's got to be like
that's a lot.
take a Greyhound to fucking Mexico time there.
Yeah, become an illegal alien in Mexico or something, because you can do it with $7 a week down there and live well. You like king of the town or something.
Yeah, that's like take a Greyhound, kill everybody on the bus, get into Mexico, and then kill the driver.
Yeah, I don't know,
To get 41.
because it would seem to me. I tell you what, if there's one warrant on you in a state, it goes national, first of all. So you have a warrant, say, in Florida, you move to California, feel safe, and get pulled over for a speeding ticket, they can arrest you on the spot, and then depending on what the crime is, whether they extradite you or not. So they've been on the run for over a year. What are you allowed to say what they did?
Damn, they on the most wanted list?
Allegedly.
Allegedly? Yeah, allegedly. They got warrants, but allegedly.
Yeah, without
Jimmy Collins wants to know if it's Bonnie and Clyde.
like they would say about Trump.
Damn. Did I ever have, I think I may have had one warrant on me for a bad check when I was way younger in Tennessee.
To answer your question, there ain't much you can do.
No, the best, to me, best you could do is go to Ohio, to the first small town you could find, walk in the police station, say I give up, and hope for the best. I think if you have 40 warrants for in one state, there's going to be some jail time involved, which is probably why they're running. I do believe they're trying to act like them, like Bonnie and Clyde. Well,
They from Louisiana like Bonnie and Clyde?
no, apparently it's Ohio. Apparently Ohio is picking up your slack, Nick. What the hell?
Yeah. Cool asses around and losing it.
Jesus Christ. I've never heard of nobody having 40 warrants.
Oh, Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah. I was thinking about Dylan.
I don't know how many warrants they had. I'm sure it's quite a few. But then again, the federal government was involved with them. What the hell was that cop's name?
Well, anytime you cross state lines and you're wanted, that's a federal fucking crime right there.
They are wanted for everything from robbing to child porno and breaking and entering. Okay, so there's going to be drugs or alcohol or something involved with that.
That's some good kid there.
And so why the fuck are you worried about them? Who the fuck cares? They're scumbags.
Because everybody's got family and, shit happens, man. I mean, she didn't actually say she cared about them. She just was wondering. Eric Driver's here. How you doing?
Shit.
Pulled pork burgers.
My aunt died a week or so ago, right?
Yeah.
Her son was at my house. This motherfucker had crack and weed and everything on him. He got busted the next day with that kid. So his ass is back in jail.
Yep.
Yeah. So everybody's got those people in their family.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, my brother, you know, I don't really know my cousins anymore. Haven't since I was a kid. But anyway.
Well, I hadn't seen this dude for 20 years.
Yeah. And
He had actually tried to hook up with my
daughter?
Yeah, that didn't go over very well.
Yeah, I imagine her husband might not be too pleased.
That was way before. That was years ago. My daughter was a teenager.
Oh.
At that point.
Oh, so that didn't go over well with you.
Yeah, he was a minor.
Yeah.
He was an adult.
Well, wasn't this?
Well
wait a minute.
All.
Wouldn't this be? He was your aunt's son. Isn't that some sort of relation? Isn't that
Correct.
illegal Isn't that illegal in Louisiana? Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of weird over here.
He doesn't care.
Kind of weird.
That's his problem.
Oh.
Pedophile.
Daniel is going to drink with his neighbors.
He's
So have a good night, Dan. Have a good night, buddy. They're druggies. I don't really care, Matt. Just can't figure out why the law somewhere hasn't caught them. Are they? Maybe they're not in Ohio. Maybe, if they're not in Ohio, well, the thing about it is you got one warrant. They know you're going to get caught doing something, even if it's a speeding ticket. A lot of times they don't worry about it too much. With 40, there's no, you can't leave the country because you can't get a passport. You can't, you can go to another state. You can't get electricity in your name. You can't get a phone in your name. You can't do any of that because you are now in a computer system where your name will pop up if you do any of that stuff. You can't get a driver's license in your, anything like that. Everything you pay for has to be paid for in cash. There's no credit cards unless you steal someone else's, which, with 40 of them, they may have done that too. I don't know. All right. Eventually, though, people like that always get caught.
Well, I know you're going to get caught.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
They're going to get caught. It's a matter of time. And you're living looking over your shoulder the whole fucking time, which is no good either.
Yeah, this ain't the old West where you just move to a different state or even hell, 40, 50 years ago, you could just move to another state, live out your life and never have another problem. Okay. Ever since they got computers and they all came together and said, let's just watch everybody. You don't have that chance anymore. That's why they catch people from 50 years ago, murdered somebody or did something. So.
Right. And, nervous.
Yeah.
Kind of set the flag off.
Yep.
Yep.
And cops look for that when they ride. When cops are.
They'll get spotted somewhere and then they'll ping their cell phone and blah blah blah. It's over with.
Another thing you can't get is a job on the books, which doesn't sound like these two were like all that big on doing that in the first place. But you can't get a job on the books under your own name. So unless they got the money to buy fake IDs like the illegals do. Because I can tell you something right now. Illegal aliens are like ghosts. They can change their identity at any time as long as they got the money to do it. And they move this place, that place all the time. Very seldom are they stationary for years and years unless they're in an
fake
enclave.
ID in LA costs $100.
Yep. And some of them are actually very good. But without one or a bad one, you ain't getting a job. And if I imagine they have quite a few aliases, so they have to make up new names and everything else. And also, what some of these computer systems do is they look at aliases, right? And a lot of times, people, when they have aliases, will kind of make all the aliases similar, kind of. So they're easier to remember. Because you got to remember, you starting a new life with a new name. You got to remember that name. It ain't like, you name you grew up with. That's just your name. You don't need to remember it. New name you need to remember. Alan McMillan had pulled pork sandwiches that he made himself. So we're very happy for Alan. He seems very contented. And Eric Driver had the country fried steak at the freaking Cracker Barrel, which is racist, Eric, by the way. I just thought I'd mention that, but, whatever. It's all good. Eric's a racist. He went to Cracker Barrel.
The whole Cracker Barrel. I've never seen a Cracker Barrel.
Really? They're everywhere around here. They're one of them. A lot of times, they're like, them interstate restaurants, the chain ones. They're everywhere on the interstate. That's Cracker Barrels like that here. They're off every exit.
It used to be like, Shoney's and shit like that. But I don't go on interstates.
They're still there. Shoney's is still around. We had them. Bob's Big Boy. What the hell was the other one with the keys to be a big one? Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson used to be the biggest. That's where everybody went. They brought their campers. They had campgrounds. They had all kinds of shit. So ask Roseanne Barr about aliases.
Speaking of that, did you see
Leave
Kentucky
the
Fried Chicken's going to suspend their finger looking good slogan?
Why?
COVID.
Okay. First they get rid of Colonel Sanders. Now they're getting rid of finger looking good. Why bother having Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore? I don't particularly like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Ain't ate there in years and years and years and years, but it's nice to know it's around. Now it's not even around anymore. Jimmy Collins says you should leave the West Coast, Matt, because you're missing a lot. Stuckies. Yeah, Stuckies. You're right, Eric.
I should do what again?
Leave the West Coast, he says. You never heard of Cracker Barrel. I personally don't think Cracker Barrel's any better than any of the other ones, but I've eaten at Cracker Barrel. They got good cheese. I like their cheese. They do. They've always had good cheese, Cracker Barrel. They still sell it in stores here.
Yeah. Colonoscopy next year.
Buc-ee's gas stations. These are big, huge. We have a new one here. I can't remember the fucking name of it. It's a convenience store gas station with restaurants and shit in it. And places to sit down and eat and all kinds of stuff. I can't remember the fucking name of it. I've never been to one, but my wife swears by them. She loves the place. I just like it when I can go in and get a large Coke and fill up my tank, and I'm a happy camper. Popeye's chicken is better than the KFC. I don't know. I don't like chicken too much, so I don't eat none of them places. I don't think the best idea is to run from where you live in North America, because let's face it, where the fuck to from Virginia? They come to Canada. They're going to come to Canada up there, get some more warrants. We have a new KFC here. I hate their chicken. The one in town went out of business. The one down that was in, let's see, that would be, Williston, which is about 30 miles from here. That one went out of business. So I don't know. And Williston is kind of the place that Kentucky Fried Chicken should do well in.
What you talking about, Williston?
Yeah. Chicken gives me lucid dreams for some reason or another. from Eric Driver. I've never heard that analysis before, Eric, but then you are a different kind of guy. So that could be true. I don't know. I'm not a big chicken
What did he
fan.
say? Choking his chicken gives him lucid dreams.
Yeah, that's what he said, man. That was exactly what he said. Okay. I don't know. I
Did you see all the celebrities dissing Melania Trump for a speech, her accent?
Oh yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
She stumbled over a couple words. I'm like, bitch speaks 5 languages. You know, how about you? Put it that way.
Yeah. Bette Midler got almost shamed off of Twitter for saying that she still can't speak English. She had to put out a tweet that basically said she was welcome in America with an accent because a lot of people have one. Apparently found out that you can only go so damn far. You know, Melania Trump is a legal alien. I don't know no goddamn conservatives that have ever said that legal aliens should not be here. I've never met one. You go through that convoluted process and so on and so forth to get to be an American citizen. And that other guy who spoke, the Cuban guy.
And then she even called her an illegal alien.
Yeah.
I thought nobody was illegal.
Yeah.
Or an alien.
Yeah.
She called her that.
What do you call the Cuban guy that spoke? That was pretty inspirational. He had come here for freedom and all that. I thought that was that's what America is about for people. That's why they should be coming here the correct way. And it goes to also show that these people who do spend the time, the money, and probably the pulling their hair out with the frickin' system, who do go through it though and become American citizens, they don't like the illegal bullshit. Goes to show you. And you know, one of the things that this system does do for legal, it they go through it because they want to become American citizens because it's important, and they've earned that right by going through that. I mean, they could make it a lot somewhat easier. I got to be honest here, but nevertheless, by going through all that, they kind of prove they belong here, and I don't care who likes that or who don't. Because
it's the same thing as not having to look over your shoulder every fucking day.
Yeah, and these people come here legally. They get their whatever green card, whatever they get. They work their ass off. They actually pay taxes. It's not like the Democrats say that the illegals do. They pay their payroll taxes. They pay all that. They probably get help from the states and the federal government, which I got no problem with because they're doing it legally. And you got to remember, people who come here legally are leaving what they've known most of their life to a brand new country. That's hard, man. That ain't an easy thing. So I respect that. There's 5 people, I think it was. I didn't watch it. I heard about all this today. My wife was watching it actually, but 5 people got sworn in.
I think if I gotta leave, I'd go to Italy myself.
Yeah, they got
I
pizza.
can communicate over there and shit like this, that, and the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do well, man. Me, I'd go there just for the pizza and real Italian food. I'd be like 400 pounds. I would be great. Alan says yes. The Cuban guy and Nick Sandman. Yeah, that's the kid from the was smiling at the Indian guy. And some CNN pundit or reporter called him the kid a snot nosed something. I gotta tell you. Oh, Tiffany got a migraine headache from hell. There's only one kind of migraine headache, and that's the one from hell. My wife gets them sometimes. They're not good. I used to. I haven't had one in a long time. So, the ugly press has been totally spending billions trying to bring down Trump.
The Sandman thing.
Go ahead.
I think it was him. I would have. I think if I was him, I would have made it a lot shorter. I don't know, or not done it. I don't understand your reasoning really, because you're going to get ripped by the left, and you just sued all these companies, and they've caved and settled with you. I don't know. I don't get the reasoning really, but he's going to get more abuse. He knew that off the rip, and he did. I don't know why you put yourself in that shit. Really.
Why not? He doesn't seem to care.
He needs to sue again.
When you win, it don't matter. And I don't know how much money this kid got.
How much money?
Yeah.
Nick Sandman got.
But my guess, it was a decent chunk of change. I mean, he was suing him for $250 million or some damn thing. So it wasn't like he settled for 10 grand.
Couple of them.
Yeah, and he's not done.
He might have got 10%. So that's a fucking 20 million or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know.
Good chunk of change.
And
I take that.
This thing in Kenosha. This is my feeling on it, and it has something to do with this. I don't know if 7 times was appropriate, but I do know that the guy, first of all, the video that everybody, the NBA is actually boycotting the playoffs now. They've stopped the playoff games because they're so upset. And so is Aaron Rodgers, who I could give a fuck about. But nevertheless, the guy, when you see the entire video, you see why he was shot 7 fucking times. Plus, he's a fucking scumbag. Sexual assault, domestic violence, all that kind of shit. He was not a guy that was trying to break up a fight between 2 women and was just going to check on his kids. He was a guy who wasn't listening to what the cops said.
Yeah. No, but it was his 2 hoes that were fighting over him.
Yeah. But he's going to survive. And he's probably going to be arrested for whatever warrants were out for him. While he's doing that, he will be able to hire a high-priced lawyer because he's going to become rich, is what's going to happen. The city's going to hand his family millions. That's what's going to happen. And these cops are going to end up getting fired, ruining their careers over a thug. And we're always saying, and Matt said the other night, we're always saying, can't these people ever put up somebody that's like completely innocent? It's because these assholes like this don't exist in the completely innocent spectrum. They do what the cop tells them to do. Most cops don't want to shoot you. They don't want to fight with you. They don't want to do none of that.
Too much paperwork.
Way too much paperwork.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah. Not to, shooting somebody ain't what everybody thinks it is. Nevertheless, This guy's going to end up rich. You are. You're going to sue the city and win millions. You watch. Meanwhile, Nick Sandwich, man, and everybody will praise him. And they've already put him on a pedestal to where he never did anything wrong. Okay, Nick Sandman actually didn't do anything wrong. He won a couple of big lawsuits, and there's more to come. Or I don't know, he didn't win the lawsuits, but they did settle. And they're calling him a snot-nosed, entitled kid. Who is now set for life.
I have a feeling he's going to win another settlement.
Yeah, I do too. The ones he's already had out, plus his lawyer is trying to get Brian Seltzer fired, which would not be a loss for anyone because Brian Seltzer is like absolutely the most high-pitched moron there is. But
that Lynn Woods,
he loves cock.
And it's like this, at this shooting here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And then they rioted it at this Circle K store. And there's this older white guy showing up in his big ass, like Ford F-250 or something, trying to go get gas. And they're trying to stop him from going to get gas because he's white. And it's a bunch of white people trying to do it.
Yeah.
With a couple of black guys mixed in.
Oh yeah, that was that weird. They had a couple of those weird stories. They were trying to shame white people into putting their fist up in the air, and they wouldn't do it. It's fucking disgusting, man. I tell you what, I'd have shoved you in the fucking throat like 5 times. You do that shit to me.
Well,
sitting somewhere
the one
at a restaurant.
Yeah, the one you were talking.
Well, this guy says, "Fuck it," because these people are pushing and beating on his truck. It's a brand new truck.
Yeah.
They're pushing and banging on the hood and the doors of his truck. He says, "Fuck it," so he pulls forward, and of course the black guy says, "You tried to run over us and kill us." And the same guy that said that shit, guess who they called him with? John Bell Edwards, our fucking governor.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
see how that worked?
Yeah, it's like Matt was talking the other night. I saw that video with the people at the restaurant, like, I don't know, screaming at the lady who was sitting on the patio area there to, raise your fist or whatever. They were all white. Not a black person in the crowd. These people don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter. They're enjoying. This is like fun for them. This is what they enjoy doing, and they're too stupid. They're too stupid to realize that they're being used by everybody on both sides. Let's see. If cop tells me to do an Irish jig while singing a Britney Spears song, I'm going to do it from Destiny Paris. I'd like to see that, Destiny. I would. Make a video, please. I don't know. No, I wanted to Cracker Barrel. I don't know.
Destiny, like my previous comment.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't actually like you at all, man. But we keep trying to tell you. I know it's heartbreaking.
I meant the Brian Stelter side of sound effect.
No, I see. I don't know. I've always gone to work, and I've never, I go to work. I try to do the best job I could, no matter how I did, whatever. Okay, but how are you a news anchor or a talking head? You go to work and just fucking lie. Know you're lying. Know you're lying. How do you do that? I mean, I get it. They get paid a lot of money, but is it really worth your soul?
Yeah, 200 some paycheck a year, I guess. At least.
I don't know. I couldn't do it, man. I really couldn't. And even Fox News is just going off the fucking rails. What's her name? What's the black woman's name? Everybody hates Donna Brazil. She went off on some Republican woman the other night. I don't even know what the fuck she was talking about. It was so bad. Like, you don't know my existence. You can't. You have no idea what I do about it. It's like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Nobody cares, and nobody said nothing about that.
Yeah, yeah. And don't give the questions to Joe Biden.
Yeah.
First debate that he might decide to show up with Trump.
I was watching the 5 one night. I was a video actually the next day after Pelosi tore up the State of the Union, and Donna was okay with all that, and Jesse Waters reached over to her notes and just ripped them in half. I thought Donna was going to have a stroke right there on camera. It was great.
I didn't see that. That's funny.
Yeah. Jesse just turns around with this big smile on his face, like, yeah, fuck you. I often wonder if somebody, the people, like, I don't know. Even Gutfeld is starting to get. I mean, he used to make fun of Juan Williams, but now he's starting to get just pissed off at this bullshit. I mean, it's like to the point where he's like yelling about shit. Let's see. Eric's Destiny said she wouldn't date Matt if she was in a coma. You still got a chance, Matt. She would date you as long as she's not dead. That kind of thing. You still got a chance.
Well, Matt would date her, though.
So she wants to get freaky like that.
What did Nick just say?
I said, but Matt would date her, though, if she was in a coma.
Yeah.
Perfect woman.
That's hilarious.
Somebody here ain't right.
Yeah. I wonder who that could be. Oh, shit. That was funny, man. He would date her.
It's the imp.
Oh, that's good. That's some good shit. Okay.
Yeah, think about it. Coma?
Here,
Okay.
I don't put a lot of stock in any kind of polls. I don't care what they are. But since the DNC, which is famous, a convention is always famous for whoever the candidate is to go up in the polls. Joe Biden has actually gone down. And Trump has gone up.
Yeah. People don't vote by poll.
Also, and I think I actually believe a better gauge for the conventions in particular was the DNC's ratings compared to the RNC. The RNC's kicking their ass. And I believe it's because they've come up with the right formula, to be proud of the fact you're an American instead of the doom and gloom and if Trump wins, we're all going to die shit from the Democrats.
Yeah, unless you watch CNN, MSNBC, and all of these,
And look at
totally different.
And look at their ratings.
Morons are going to keep listening today.
And look at their ratings compared to
Well,
Fox.
it just seems like a higher production value. I mean, it all looks better. They got a big backdrop with those fucking pillars and a dozen American flags and everything, which, you didn't see at the fucking DNC.
Well, the left is now bitching and moaning because Trump used a swearing-in ceremony at the White House, and they're wanting him charged with a crime for that. They are bitching and moaning because Melania.
And want to investigate Pompeo.
Yeah, that's it. The Pompeo thing, yeah. And they're also complaining about Pompeo. Susan Rice says he's too religious. They're pissed at the first lady for I don't know, redoing the Rose Garden somehow. Which
redesigning the Rose Garden.
That's it.
Unprecedented.
Yeah,
never happened before.
How dare an illegal alien come to our house and do that?
Michael Obama. That woman, or whatever it was, that lived in the White House for the past 8 years.
Yeah. She did nothing.
She changed all kind of shit.
No, she spent our money having all
kind of shit.
She had all kinds of aides and assistants and people working for the First Lady's office. When Melania Trump came in, she got rid of most of them.
Yeah, Melania's got like 4.
Yeah. I don't know the exact number.
It's like, Bill de Blasio's wife got 47 fucking attendants.
Yeah, 12.
The fucking mayor of New York.
$12
million. $20 million budget.
Yeah, no, 12 million.
Goddamn thing.
$12 million for that when New York's having a budget crisis.
And he's begging the government to subsidize his fuck up.
Yep. He is actually well hated in New York now. Jesus Christ, everybody hates de Blasio now. I think Melania Trump should have taken every cover ugly Michelle got. Yeah, this is a woman, the First Lady of the United States, okay, who is, you know how like most First Ladies will talk about what they're wearing, and they won't even talk about it. I've seen a few times, like on Breitbart, they'll talk about what she's wearing and stuff like that, and what she says and all that. Mainstream media, you never hear it. Somebody said something to the effect that she's the second coming of Jackie Kennedy, and the left almost had a conniption.
Oh, yeah. But, Miss Obama there, or Mr. whatever the hell that is, could wear whatever it wanted, and it was just a fashion statement of
Yeah, she wear culottes, and then she'd be like the coolest thing on the planet.
Miserable.
Yeah, she was horrible looking. Melania Trump is a freaking supermodel.
Yeah.
A fucking supermodel is what she is. I don't keep up with supermodels. I've never heard of Melania Trump. Yeah,
and all this crap.
I never heard of her, Melania Trump, until now. When Trump ran for president and so forth. I personally don't think she's that good looking, but she's way better looking than every other picture I've seen of every other First Lady. I'll tell you that. Way better looking.
Yeah.
And she has style. And, also like with Jackie Kennedy, everybody said she had style and grace. So does Melania. And I would imagine being married to those two men.
They're very confident.
With Kennedy and being married to Trump, that's not always the easiest thing to do. But every time you see Melania, she exudes something, whatever it is, probably what's made her a damn supermodel or whatever. But a very classy type woman. Michelle Obama walked like a linebacker, and she talked worse.
She looks real.
Yeah.
She acts real. I mean, you'd see her like interact with people. It's not, she's not superficial.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
She's a real person.
No, I think
she really gives a shit.
And from what I've read, she's fiercely protective of her son. She is very irritated when people talk shit about them, to the point where she has actually said something a couple of times. Gotta respect that.
Oh yeah, Slavic broad. I'm sure she walks around swearing in her native language like a mile a minute. I'm sure.
Yeah. And what has her husband
I
really
wonder how
done?
many languages Michelle Obama.
She barely speaks
That's
English.
compared to the 5 that Melania.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ebonics and barely English.
Melania is older now, but she is middle-aged, amazing, with 5 languages, so many companies, personal. Well, yeah, she came here. Donald Trump didn't give her money; she earned it herself. She ain't an idiot.
She's got probably damn near as much money as he has.
Let's see, who the fuck said that? I think Jimmy. Did you hear Courtney Cox made a horrible joke about Pence? I did not hear that. God, I wish these people would shut up. I used to like the shows they were on. I can't watch them no more, listening to how they really are. Damn. Elaine from Seinfeld, I didn't even like her on that show. I always hated Elaine. She was a fucking whiny bitch.
Yeah, Julia Louise Dreyfus, whatever the fucking name is.
I never had no. I loved that show, but she was my least favorite on the show.
But I won't say it.
So, and Pence is another one. I mean, here's a guy who won't do business with a woman unless another woman, his wife or another woman's in the room with him. I got to tell you, there's doctors out there that won't do that. Nobody's talking shit about them. I've seen it. They will always have.
Just won't do it.
Yeah, there's always a nurse in the room with them. And it ain't because the nurse is helping them. It's so that she's there to protect the doctor's reputation in case the woman decides to, whatever. And also,
act stupid.
Yeah. And also, I guess if you thought about it, it's for the patient's protection too, but it's mostly for the doctor. Okay. But Pence does it.
I don't know. You want to call the Pence thing real religious? Respect to his wife about not being alone, talking to women, whatever. It seems a little strange, but I can understand it. In this day and age, there's no doubt. Shit.
Yeah. Especially,
I don't fucking blame him.
Yeah, especially in the position that he's in now with Trump. They still swear up and down that Trump has sexually assaulted 52 women. And I got to tell you, Trump has been rich and famous for a long, long time. So as far as a money grab, why is there no police reports? Why is there no nothing? Trump sexually assaults you in some way, shape, or form pretty much any time in my life. That's a huge payday. No police reports. No nothing, just accusations.
Until now.
Yeah.
They wanted to come up with some dumb.
Yeah. It's just like with Daniel Snyder.
How much are they getting paid by the Democrats?
It's now like Daniel Snyder with the Redskins. People are accusing him of this, that, and the other. And there are pundits in the media that now want the NFL to force him to sell his team on accusations. Some goddamn cheerleader said that he walked up and told her to go into a hotel room with 2 guys, 2 executives or something, and get to know them better. That's her claim.
Well, where's the witnesses?
Exactly. We are in a country now that will make a guy, and I'm not talking about an owner that's a particularly good one that has done a lot of good for his team so that they win games. I'm just talking about a guy who owns an NFL team that they now are trying to get the NFL to force him to sell his team. They've already done it once.
They can't.
Yes, they can.
They can't.
Yes, they can.
The owners have to. The owners have to come to an agreement about it. That's the whole monopoly they got there.
Yeah, well,
and he probably got dirt on all the rest of them motherfuckers too.
Listen to me. They've already done it. Jerry Richardson was the owner and founder of the Carolina Panthers. He made the comment during negotiations for, I guess, a new collective bargaining agreement. Something to the effect of, what are we going to do? Let the inmates run the asylum now? And of course, that was turned into a racist thing to where the league and the owners made him sell the team. It's already been done. We have the NBA telling the entities and the owners, we're not playing because we're boycotting the playoffs.
But it's a different scenario.
It's not a different scenario. You own the team. He didn't say anything racist. The players, they don't want to do. The players are in charge. That's the fucking problem. These owners and the money involved and everything and the fucking way the country's going has put these fucking players in charge. If they don't like a coach, the coach gets fired. It's not a different scenario. The same fucking thing. The NBA telling the owners, we're not playing because we're protesting the fucking Kenosha freaking shooting. Bitch, you're being paid millions of dollars a year to go play a fucking game. Get your ass out on that fucking court and entertain us. That's your goddamn job. You want to do social justice fucking work? When you get off at the end of the day, go do it. But your job is
now I saw Roger Goodell is saying, well, maybe we should have listened to,
Colin Kirkpatrick
and paid attention to him early.
Yep.
And this wouldn't have happened.
Yep.
Like, are you serious? You're gonna punk out here all of a sudden.
Yep. And this is going to kill everybody's bottom line. They're going through this ridiculous bullshit with the fucking Kung Flu, with the fall. Now they're getting a bunch of false positives. They got all these different rules now made up, and then this and that and the other, and all this fucking stupid shit going on with that. Then we got the social justice warriors want to kneel for the anthem. I'm telling you, people, professional sports, another couple years of this is going to be changed majorly. Because there's too much money involved, and it's corrupting the shit out of everybody, and it has turned the people in charge into the fucking lackeys. Players are paid a lot of money to play.
You said they're going to make the Washington Redskins owners sell the fucking team, and that's a penalty? Well, how much is it worth? $1 billion? $1.5 billion at least? Is that a fucking penalty to them?
Well, it'd be like you, Matt. Okay. On this show, if you were somebody and some of the shit you say, and they tell you can't be on the internet no more, or you have to sell all your drums, or you can't play music anymore, what are you going to do? You're going to tell them to fuck off. Daniel Snyder, regardless of how much his team is worth, wants to keep his team. For whatever reason, he bought an NFL team, and that's what he wants to do. Why the fuck should he be made to sell it because of some fucking cheerleader with absolutely no fucking proof? Who in the fuck?
I didn't say he should, no.
You know, who in the fuck? And there's a bunch of complaints about him and sexual harassment and all this shit because these fucking idiots come out of the woodwork the minute they think they can get a dime out of somebody. It's no different than in politics. Every time somebody don't like somebody, oh, he sexually assaulted me. Horse shit. And the ones that are true, or at least have a chance to be true, are completely fucking ignored. But somebody like Christine Blasey Ford became a star for a week and a fucking half. And made a lot of money doing it. Over what? Zero fucking proof. Zero. That's not how the system's supposed to work. If Trump assaulted some woman at some point, there should have been a police report. Chances are Trump would have never ran for president because of that police report. Where are the accusations when this shit is happening? And I'm not saying all these accusations are wrong, but most of them are.
You know, it doesn't matter. The double standards of, against Joe and Kamala called him a fucking sexual predator a year ago, and now she loves him. Uncle Joe. Love Uncle Joe.
Yeah. Bill Clinton, Juanita Broderick, he raped her in a hotel room. Remembered every detail. Exactly when it happened. What day it happened. She was threatened. Her life was threatened. She was threatened by Hillary fucking Clinton. Proven fact. He had sex in the Oval Office. And that piece of fucking shit gets up behind a microphone in the DNC and says he don't like what's going on in the White House.
Well, Democrats.
Well,
the White
yeah.
House, Republicans.
Listen, Bill Clinton is, it's pretty much proven Bill Clinton has been on Epstein's plane a bunch of times. It's never really truly been proven he was actually on the island, okay? A lot of people believe that. There's a lot of things out there about it, so on and so forth, but none of it is truly in a court of law proof. One of the girls that has accused him said he was there. Okay, that's fine. But you need people to back that up. In a court of law, her saying he was there is nothing. Means nothing. That's why we have laws in this country. To protect the innocent. Now, I'm not saying Bill Clinton's innocent. Bill Clinton's a fucking scumbag. Okay. But for as far as him actually being on the fucking island, I don't see any proof anywhere other than what people are saying. And you can believe whatever you want. I lean to the side he probably was. But again,
yeah, and then you got them bringing up Trump is responsible for the QAnon shit. Like, what the fuck do I have to do with it? I don't know shit about QAnon.
yeah. Well, it's a big thing now because a lot of people are getting kicked off of Twitter for it and Facebook, I assume. I don't fucking know. I haven't really seen much on Q in a long time, and surprisingly enough, I'm fine with that.
Why they're so worried about fucking Q. It hasn't fucking accumulated anything.
Yeah. I think it's just something to use against people.
Yeah.
You know, who
It's
believe in that shit.
Unless they know something that's true.
Wasn't there 20-something
follow
flight
this
manifests
shit,
of Clinton flying to Epstein's island? Yeah, but that doesn't prove he was on the island. That proves he was on the plane. See? Okay, that proves he was on the plane. And I believe he probably was on the plane. I actually believe he probably went to the island and had big fun with little girls. I believe.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's on the plane. If it doesn't prove, even if he was at the island, it doesn't prove he did anything improper. That's
correct.
nothing.
Now, you do seem to have some fairly
Yeah, because nobody
credible.
knows that there were girls on the plane.
Yeah, there are people. Somebody said they saw him go into one of the rooms on the plane with a couple of young girls. There's pictures of him getting a massage from one of the girls who's doing a lot of the accusing. There's a lot of evidence, and he probably was there, and that's exactly probably why he went. But you have to fucking prove that. Now, you take his wife.
Well, unless you're Kavanaugh.
Yeah, exactly. No, you have to believe that. And if you're a leftist and you're accusing Bill Clinton, very few people are standing up against Bill Clinton on the leftist side. There's a couple of actresses that have truly spoken out against Bill Clinton here recently. I personally have never heard of them, but apparently they're famous. I think Rose McGowan is one of them. I don't think I've ever seen a Rose McGowan movie or TV show or anything, but whatever. Okay. Okay, but you can't do by proxy in a court of law, Eric. You have to have proof for each and every step of the way. That's how it works. If you don't, you're going to have a hard time finding a damn jury that's going to convict him.
Unless you're the D.C. district attorney and wants Trump's tax papers.
New York. Yeah.
Then he's automatically guilty.
Yeah. There's a lot of these people that are just. One of the problems is that the laws don't matter no more. It's public opinion. The court of public opinion has always been very strong. Very strong. Stronger most times than most, and throughout the history. Stronger than most court of laws in many, many cases. It has caused people to resign from whatever they're doing or stop doing whatever they're doing and that kind of shit. But in the end, it's not a court of law. And in order for you to make somebody sell a team, or you make somebody do this, or you make somebody do that, there actually has to be some kind of law that lets you do that. That's what law and order is about. That's why this country is based on laws. So we don't have anarchy like we're seeing now. The problem is we're seeing a whole lot of laws being ignored by the people who are supposed to be enforcing them. And I ain't talking about the cops. Everybody says the cops should resign. They're not following their oath, or they're breaking the Constitution into shreds. You gonna pay their bills? Every cop resigns. Is that what you want? You want these cities to fall into anarchy? 3 people got shot last night. First thing I hear the leftists doing is screaming for the fucking cops. Can't do it. Can't defund them. Can't have social workers doing the jobs of cops. They're going to get killed. I personally don't give a shit if some asshole don't listen to them get shot 7 times. I got to be honest. I don't give a fuck. You dumb enough not to listen to the cops, so I got guns pointing at you or tasers. Fuck you. Whatever.
Oh, did y'all see this kid got arrested? Wait, whatever the hell is going on in Wisconsin or wherever the fuck that is. This current dumb shit. This kid's getting chased down by some guy with a gun, and he's got an AR-15.
Yep.
And they get him down on the ground, and he turns around and starts shooting these motherfuckers.
Yep. Yeah. And
he shoots one in the head, one in the chest, and blows one of them.
Yep.
And he gets arrested for murder.
Yep. And they're going to find out when they look at the rest of the fucking video. I mean, all these fucking arrests that are being made of cops and people and all this other bullshit. Same thing with that other guy that shot 3 people. They were trying to kick his fucking ass. They arrested him, and then they had to let him go. Most of these cops that have been arrested for these shit, George Floyd, the fucking guy in Atlanta, all that, they're going to end up getting let go. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. And this kid was a minor. He tried to protect the business. But he gets arrested.
Yep. That's a fact. In the end, folks, you can't make any decisions on a 15, 20-second video. No matter how horrific it may look, you got to look at the entire fucking picture. But nobody wants to do that because the social media like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, that is the end-all of end-alls. People make their decision, and no matter what the real facts are, they don't want to hear them after that because usually what's going on is they don't want any facts interfering with what they think. And we ain't got enough people in this fucking country that are smart enough to just shut their mouth until the whole story comes out.
Not fact.
What's that, Nick?
Like Biden said, well, we believe in the truth, not facts.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah. I think the kid will get off with self-defense. Probably, but right now he's in jail. Whether he's been bailed out or
he's a minor.
Yeah, he's a minor.
I've seen minors commit mass murder, and they treat him as a juvenile. This guy was protecting his own life because he's getting chased down by a guy with a gun.
This is what I'm going to tell you.
And he shoots back.
Yep. This is what I'm going to fucking tell you. Simple as pie. This shit is going to get more and more prevalent. And why? Because you can't just walk up to some guy in a vehicle and start beating the fuck out of his vehicle, trying to drag him out or do this or that or the other, doing shit like we saw last night and everything else, and not expect people to start carrying guns and shooting back and defending themselves. You want to blame somebody for this shit.
Right.
Blame the mayors and the politicians and the fucking governors for not doing anything to stop these fucking assholes. People protecting their fucking businesses and somebody's trying to fucking rob them, fuck them, shoot them. Fuck a bunch of rubber bullets. Fuck a bunch of water hoses. Just fucking shoot them.
It took a kid to start.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. It took a kid to start.
Yeah, he's like 15, 16, something like that. Yep, that's what's going to happen. It's going to start happening more and more. People are going to start carrying. People are going to say, well, you know what? It's better that we end up in court than end up in the street dead or, like that guy got kicked in the head. That guy could have easily been killed. He got lucky.
Yeah. Like they say, I'd rather be judged by 12.
No, we don't know what further in the future this effect could have on him. He might start having seizures or something.
Exactly.
You don't know.
Exactly.
Obviously, it was concussive.
Exactly. And they beat the fuck out of that guy before that moron kicked him in the head.
Yeah. He was already beat down to the ground.
Yep. And all because he was helping some transvestite who was also being robbed by, the same bunch, basically. Right? People
so much for the inclusive party.
You start going into these fucking neighborhoods, it's not going to be like the video from last week where the people just chased them out and beat the fuck out of them. there's going to start being gunfire and a lot of it. And these politicians are going to try to blame the people with the guns, but in the end, you go to a Second Amendment rally, you don't see shootings. People are getting tired of this shit. These fucking politicians are supposed to be protecting people, their cities, enforcing the fucking laws.
It's all white supremacy.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not. And don't tell me it's not BLM. It's fucking BLM is doing this shit too. It is Antifa. It's a lot of different groups. There's no doubt. But it's also BLM doing this shit. You hear BLM, all the screaming about all the violence? No. You hear BLM screaming about how bad looting is? No. That's reparations. They should get whatever they want so they can eat and have clothes to wear. Listen, how come they ain't robbing a fucking five and dime shop?
That white Christian.
Yeah, because you can't, and you don't need a $5,000 dress just to be clothed. You don't. Anyway, we're out of time, guys. Appreciate everybody tuned in, commented. Had a good time tonight. Thank you. Matt, got any last words?
I do. I would like to quote the immortal Joe Biden. Hey, where are we? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's old. That's Joe. Joe finally came out and condemned the violence. You're probably your last words ever, really.
Well, I got a better one. Well, you know the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't he talking about the Constitution or something that night? Fucking Joe. Oh, boy.
I have no clue what the fuck he was talking about. I know he doesn't know what he's
Endowed by your creator.
Yeah, from the thing. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a nice night. We will see you this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern right here. And also Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And on and on it goes. Enjoyed it tonight. Thank you. Please stay vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings. Oh, shit. At all times. I'm really into this. And always remember, it's amazing what you can do when you have no other choice. Keep in mind, everybody, there is a hurricane, major one coming to Louisiana and Texas. Our good friend Nick lives in Louisiana, although he lives kind of far in, which should help him, actually. But,
somewhere over the rainbow.
It's not that far in. I mean, I'm about probably 60 miles from the goal.
Okay. Well, so keep him in your thoughts. Him and his family. Holy crap. It's time to go. I'm tired. Anyway.
Well, I hear that. Time for Betty Bye.
Yeah. Anyhow, y'all have a great night. We'll see you
time
Friday
for
night.
Jerry's bottle and Blanky.